Okay, I thought of a name. It's Penny Piper. So I look like Lindsay Brewer, but I'm a part of the feature um, school. So it's just a school. That's not your DNA. Your DNA is affected by the school, but you are not the school. It's affected by the school. So Min is not time. He's affected by time, by attending that school. So we're going over government systems, and I summarized it to just this. The CIA drew this. They were making everyone wait. They were making everyone wait to give me time to think, and they drew this. So basically, this is the only. I summarized it to this as government systems. So there's democracy, and then everything else is just other. So monarchy, aristocracy, oligarchy, um, Plato's Republic, which is ruled by the philosophers and only philosophers, communism, dictatorship, totalitarianism, they all fall under this. So it's ruled by a select few or by one person. And a democracy is ruled by the people. And I'll explain that. Um so um what does it mean to be ruled by the people? Um your government representatives are afraid of you. That's what it means. Because you can kick them out whenever you want. So um, so don't think of your president and Congress, as in complete power. They are terrified of the classroom. All right, they are scared of you, the people. They're scared of you because at any point you can rise up. You can have a voice, and they will get kicked out. They'll lose their job. All right, so they are afraid of the people. The opposite occurs in the other governments. The other governments, let's say philosophers, the aristocrats, the rich, the oligarchy. The oligarchy means rich, just a rich few, a top 1%. A king, a ruler, what was Hitler? A Führer. I've got the title, but anyone who is in charge of these other governments, the people fear the few. The people are afraid of the few. Just a handful of people, right? Maybe 5 people, maybe one person. The 1 million of us are afraid of one person. Those are the other types of government, the communism, all that. So you, the people, live in fear. You live in fear. In a democracy, the teacher, the representatives, the congressmen, congresswomen, the president, they live in fear of the people. That's how it should be. So in America, the reason why America is the way that it is because we are not afraid of our representatives. We're not afraid of them. They're afraid of us. All right. So if you see any shady business going on, the attention of the American people will 100% go on what's happening. And once that happens, the representatives, they get scared and they try not to do that again. You know, the Kennedys, the what is it? The gate, what is it? The gate one? I'm sorry, I was just born a few days ago. Nixon and Watergate. Water. Let me. Nixon. Watergate. Yeah, it was Watergate. The Watergate scandal. So, yes, they might try to pull an okey doke over you, but they're not going to succeed because there's too many of us. It's the entire American population. And sure, we have our own things going on, but if anything like Watergate happens, all of our attention just, we're on alert. And when that happens, the representatives, they back down. Right? So what happens is the American people are busy just living their lives, right? So they appoint the representative, the president, to do their job, right? And then they just don't worry about it. It's like, that's not our concern. That's your job, right? So once the representative or the president gets too full of themselves and they do something stupid, all of the American people just get on alert. Once they do that, they back down, right? So that's our job. So what's the American people's job? It's our job to make sure this person does their job. If they do anything shady, we step up. But we don't have to do that all the time. All right, you got to understand that our attention is just living our lives the best we can. We elect you to do your job, all right? To stay down here with us. Once you start thinking you're better than us, we all revolt. We are on alert, and we get all of us to vote you out. All right? So we don't have to have our attention on you 24/7. We don't have to do that. All right? We do our homework. We elect the person we think is best fit. And then we let you do your job. You know, you're the CEO, do your job. And the rest of us are busy living our lives. That's what the American people does. So yeah, so there's democracy and then it's just other, right? So there's the republic, the select few, and the monarchies. It's just one person creates fear for millions. Yeah, that's not real. So to give an example for Atlantis, what is it like to live in America? Let's say Athens was the capital. Let's say it's Washington, D.C. And you had a Richard Nixon person corrupting the government, the democracy. Like they want to be a tyrant, they want to be a king, like Caesar. Imagine Sparta, because it's a military city. Imagine Sparta is the Marines, the Navy SEALs, the CIA, the NSA. Think of Sparta as the CIA, NSA, military of Greece. So if anything goes wrong in Athens, if there's a tyrant that comes about, Well, everyone in Sparta will come in and take you out. Because the people are not, they can't fight for themselves, but the representatives can tell Sparta, like, hey, there's a tyrant here, and Sparta as a city, because it's a military city, will come in and take that person out. That's the best I can describe it. It's like living in America. So that's why when they were like concerned about Rome, they weren't really concerned because they had Sparta and a lot of other military strengths. They had like a whole bunch of CIA agents around and military, Marines, like Navy SEALs. They had them all around. So that's why when Rome did what they did, it was more like shame on you as opposed to a threat. It wasn't really a threat. It was more like shame on you. You shouldn't have done that. It's basically Nixon and Watergate. It's just like shame on you. That's it. Or Kennedy. It was just shame on you. CIA is like shame on you. Shouldn't have done that. It was never a threat because it's just one person. It's not scary. You just get him out of power. So that's how Greece saw Rome. Greece was like, ugh. So what the hell? Just got him out of power. It was just like it was really just like that. It was just like, ugh. They were just grossed out by it. They were just like, ugh, that's gross. And then they got Rome out of power. So it was never a threat. Greece was like the superpower of the time, the only superpower of the time. Imagine imagine if America was 2022 and then the rest of the world is Vietnam. That's Greece. Okay. Or like North Korea, like something that just doesn't, it's not just like Vietnam. Like the rest of the world is like Vietnam, and then Greece is America 2022. 2022. So that was Greece at the time. Right now, America caught up with Atlantis. So Atlantis was like really ahead, but America caught up. We're equal. So yeah, you can be a superpower, but eventually, if we have enough peace, if we have enough peace and stability in education, um, anyone could catch up. Anyone. So Min's right here, Molly's down here. If she has peace in her mind, education, and stability and structure, she can rise up to Min. But if her mind is still in an autistic state where she's fighting herself and she's fighting others, she just won't grow. Right? You need structure, you need education, you need stability in order to grow. So yeah, that's my take on democracy. With Plato, he should stay out of politics. He should be more. He should create a school like Raphael, the school of Athens. He should create a school and not concern himself with politics because politics is a whole nother beast. It's a whole nother animal that he doesn't understand. Right? He's like philosophers should take over, and politicians are like, no, that's like a select few taking over. That's still not allowed. So Plato just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand politics. Him and Socrates, they don't understand politics. So with them, they're better off creating a school where they teach their teachings. It's better that way to improve Greece. It's not through politics. That's the wrong avenue. That's not for you. Um yeah, so I have a name now. It's Penny Piper. It has a lot of symbolisms and stuff. I'm not gonna go into that. So Min, uh, he told me via video that he's making. He told me not to tell you, so I'm telling you. Um, he said he's making a bridge to the future. He's making a bridge to the future, and I was thinking about the best way you can make a bridge because Min's already out in space is a wormhole. Making a wormhole. Because just traveling by light speed is just not, it's just going to take too long. So Min's creating a wormhole to get you to the future. He told me not to tell you, so I'm telling you. So yeah, that's it. My name is Penny Piper. Min is creating a wormhole, and we went over the different types of government systems. And democracy looks like the only one that works. And and I was watching a video. They said that Greece, if Greece looked at America today, they would think of it as an oligarchy, ruled by the rich. The American people are so casual, right? They know government representatives are shady, right? It's one of those things where, yeah, you can be shady. Like, we get it, human nature. It's only when you take it too far is when we rise up, right? You saw with Wall Street in 2008, they took it too far, right? American people rose up and said, "Hey, man, you're wasting our money," right? So it's not ruled by the rich. It's just a few that are behaving improperly. Behaving, not ruling. There's a difference, right? Ancient Greece would be like, no, they're ruling you. They're ruling you. You know, there's they're getting paid out to say these things. They're getting paid out to do these things. They're getting paid out, and they're ruling you, right? That's what ancient Greece would say. That's in the video. That's what they would call it an oligarchy, or our economy is an oligarchy. It's ruled by the rich. That's not the case. It's ruled by the banks, right? The rich are rich, yeah, right? The Elon Musk, the Apples and stuff, but it's the banks by the people's money. The people's money makes the banks, and the banks pay the wealthy. So we're still in charge, right? So you do anything shady, the companies or the banks, you do anything shady, we rise up and we stop it. So you're still ruled by the people. So yeah, so the thought of, again, it's like Rome, right? If representatives are like, taking money and things like that, think of it as Rome. It doesn't concern the American people, right? Once they steal like a few million here and there, it's like this. It's like, really? That's what the American people do. They think of the representatives as like little kids. The American people, when you hear like shady stuff happen, like they steal like $1 million, the American people, they'll just do this. Like, they don't even care. Like, it's not even like lock them up, right? Really, it's just like, really? Honestly, they're like that. They're like, with our money, like, really? Like, shame on you. And that's about the punishment the American people lash out. It's really just like, shame on you. Like what are you doing? And then of course you try to vote in a better person next time. Like, you try to be smarter about who you vote in. But yeah, when something like Rome happens, in government where they steal. They steal. That's what Rome did. They were just stealing money. So, and then they got embarrassed about it when they got caught. So, and then they committed suicide. They were just so embarrassed that they got caught. So America has tougher skin. When they get caught, they just go to jail. They're like, "Ah, oh, you got me." So yeah, so when representatives like steal from the American people, and it's like stealing money, it's like, what are you doing? It's like a teacher that steals money. That's how stupid it looks. When you're a government official and you're all about money, you're about stealing money. It's like a teacher stealing $1 from your students. $1. $1,000,000 is nothing. It's like a teacher stealing $1, a quarter, a penny, stealing from a student. That's how stupid it looks. That's why the American people are like, what the heck are you doing? Not that the American people need that penny back or need that quarter or $1 back. It's like, you're an adult. You're a teacher. What are you doing? You're embarrassing yourself. That's more what they're concerned about. The American people is like you're embarrassing yourself. What are you doing? Like, we're not ashamed. As the American people, we're not ashamed, but you should be. And what are you doing? So the American government is not an oligarchy. The American people are very much in charge. It is ruled by the people. The American democracy, and the people is also the CIA, NSA. That's also a part of the people. So the branch of government is pretty stable. So there's Congress. I don't know the branches, but there's Congress, there's the presidency, and then there's the people. And the CIA and NSA are part of the people. All right. So if anything goes wrong, just tell the CIA. They'll be on it. Honestly, if anything goes wrong, like, hey, CIA, because they're part of you. They're part of the people. Congress is a little bit further out, right? There's a Supreme Court and stuff like that. If you can't get to them, just tell the CIA and NSA, like, hey, man, like, we don't like what they're doing. And they'll just keep an eye on it, like, hey, what's going on? Because, the Supreme Court and the people, the CIA, NSA, and the American people, we keep an eye on the president. Make sure he doesn't do anything weird or shady against us. All right, so we don't allow that. So yeah, that's the basic democracy. There's basically only one. Everything else is just experimental. Honestly, there's only one government that works, and it's democracy. So yeah, that's why you shouldn't worry that much, because the CIA, NSA are on things, and the Supreme Court are on it. And if a president does something odd, the entire American people are just like, they're not bashful about it. They'll say it. They'll be like, nah, shame on you. You shouldn't do that. And it's in our history books. So each generation learns it and knows what to look for. What is a good president and what's a bad one. So when you see it, you'll know. Right? That's why American history is so important to Americans. It's part of nationality and pride, but it's more so learning from mistakes and knowing what to look for. It's like, what does a bad president look like? What does a good one look like? So that's why American history is important to Americans. It's not about just being pro-American. It's really learning about our mistakes, so that each generation becomes better. That's why we learn it. And that's why we learn about Atlantis as well, and what happened with Rome in ancient Greece. So we know not to make that mistake. But it really is just so Rome was appointed and like a government official, and they just abuse their power. Of course, they're like autistic, like all of them are autistic, but they abused their power, and they were stealing from Greece and countries around them. They were stealing. And they basically told Sparta, and they came in and just took them out. They took themselves out, but they stopped them. Yeah, the embarrassment of getting caught was too much. They were embarrassed. They were like, oh man, we got caught stealing. If we want to go on Molly, Molly, she's really autistic. Yeah, she's just so the thing about autistic people is they get stuck on objects. Like they'll just get stuck on this object for like hours and hours and days. And they don't know how to love. They don't know how to interact with another person. So Molly was just screaming out, "Did you kill my brother?" Did you kill my brother? Right? That's Kimberly, Carly, and Molly. Like, did you kill my brother? Remember, they're very autistic, so they just can't let it go. They can't let it go. They're just fixated on this object. It doesn't matter. It's just an eraser. But to them, they can't. They can't just focus on something else. They can't do it. And they struggle with connecting with another person. So, this is all they can focus on. They're like an animal. All you can focus on is, eating. That's all you can focus on. So that's the thing with Molly. She just can't let it go. Right? We're telling her to think of something else, and she can't. She's just fixated on this thing. Doesn't matter, but she's fixated on it. And we were trying to get her to focus on real life, right? But she just can't let it go for some reason. To her, it's not even important because men didn't die, right? But you need to explain to her that Nicole was trying to teach that you should share your happiness with the world. And putting men here was Nicole's way of teaching her family, her daughters, and the world, if you have happiness, you should share that with the world. Right? That's her idea. And Molly just couldn't think of that. And for some reason, she thought Min was dead. I don't know where she got that from. I don't know. It's just, he's right there. I don't know. I don't. It's so autistic. He's right there. He's not dead. I don't get it. I don't get. Yeah, so each of us who came in were like, Nicole's teaching us to share our happiness. And we kind of get it. We're like, huh. Like we get it. I don't understand the autistic mind enough where they're so defensive. Everything offends them. Everything. Everything is offensive. Um, they just don't know how to interact with other humans. They don't know how to love. They just don't. They're very violent. They're basically animals. They're just as dangerous as animals, wild animals. But we have to teach them how to love another human being, and respect. I don't think they understand respect, but love, like love another human being. You have to love another human being. You never fight another human being. You love them. And her autistic mind just can't get to it. Right? We have to every day teach her, no, you love another human being. These are the ways how. And that's what I was telling men. They don't know how to. We don't know how to love. That's the quote from the world. We don't know how to love. Teach us how to love. We saw how Jesus did it. We saw how Atlantis did it. How would you do it? So we have, 3 different perspectives, 3 different point of views on it. But teach us how to love. We don't know how. So not only are autistic kids struggling with it, but in general, people are struggling with it. They don't know how to love each other. They're just too rough. They're really rough on each other. So what Min's about to do, he's gonna come in as Superboy, dressed in however, to portray that he's friendly. He's from the future. Right? We're not superheroes, but it's symbolic of a future human. So what you see on Earth and what you see with Min, you're gonna see it. It's creative license to show a big difference. That's all it means. It doesn't mean you go around flying with capes. That's not what Min is saying. Okay. It's a symbol to show how farther ahead Min is. When you love each other, this is what it looks like. You are you're not all powerful, but you become something else. That's all. So we're trying to teach Molly, Kimberly, and Carly, don't fight each other, right? If Molly messes up, teach her. Don't fight her. Don't get mad at her. Don't get angry at her. Don't get angry at another human being ever. I don't care what crimes they committed. Never do it. Never ever get angry at another human being. Just don't do it. Understand that they are struggling and then teach them. Don't get mad at them. So yeah, that's my teaching of love. Just don't ever get mad at another human being. You're gonna regret it. So just don't do it. Don't get mad at another human being. Don't ever do that. Know that they're struggling to be social. They don't know how to be social. And then teach them the best you can, right? If you can't do it, like, hey, try this out, try someone else. But at least try to teach them and don't get mad at them, right? So with Molly, Kimberly, and Carly, you saw that she was doing something wrong. Teach her. She's struggling. Stop getting mad. Stop punishing her. She doesn't understand. If you punish a puppy, it doesn't understand. It will never understand. You have to teach. Punishment doesn't work. That's old. Punishment does not work. Ever. Jails. Death sentence. All of those stuff. Doesn't work. It doesn't improve anything. You have to teach them. So yeah, punishment, does not work. Does not ever work. All the punishment Min laid on Molly, Kimberly, and Carly, all the punishment he laid on them, they didn't learn a dang thing. They are still asking the same question. Did you kill my brother? 2022, still asking it. After all the punishment Min laid out, they didn't learn nothing. 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 They didn't learn anything. You have to teach them. Punishment does not work. So yeah, Min's a doctor now. I'm trying to tell him take it seriously. All right. And same with Kimberly Taylor. Kimberly Max Taylor Burtlake. You're a doctor now. You need to take it seriously. If you tell them that they're behaving like animals and they don't understand, you need to keep thinking of new ways to explain it. All right, don't get mad at them. All right. So yeah, so that's everything. That's the government. That's my name. That's what Min's secret project, the wormhole. And that's Molly. She's autistic. All right, teach. That's the new future. Always teach each other. Always. All right, you see each other struggling, you teach immediately. All right. Don't let each other get lost, and don't get mad at each other. That's wrong. It's all wrong. Getting mad at each other, very wrong. Don't ever do it. It's like getting mad at your hand. It looks stupid. It looks really, really, really stupid. When you're mad at another person, it's like you're arguing with this hand. You need your hand. You need that other person. Right? Just don't get mad at each other. So yeah, that's all I got. I was just going over the government, but I guess all the other stuff are informative too. So yeah, we're waiting for Min's project. It's significant for Molly and anyone who doesn't understand. It is significant. But we're just waiting. All right, you don't need to do anything, but we need to see that future that he's become. We need to see what that is, what that looks like. That's why it's important. And it's important that everyone chill out and let Min teach. All right? Right? The experience is important, but also as important is you need to chill out. Stop getting hyper, stop getting overexcited. Nothing has happened yet. And stop, disrupting stuff. Just chill out. Let it happen first. All right. So yeah, this moment is pretty significant. Take it seriously. Take the learning and stuff seriously. But just chill out. All right. Just let it happen first. All right. It hasn't happened yet, so just let it happen. Allow it to happen. By chilling out. All right. So yeah.